Hey, Shalom, Shalom, first and foremost. As always, Panyaha Kodam. I want to say, Brak Yahweh, Brak Yahushai, Brak Yahweh, Brak Yahushai, Brak Yahweh, Yahushai, Brak Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Wahar, Bakat, Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Young brother here once again, Shamash One, out here putting in work for my people. As always, Lord willing, this camp will be edified. Be smooth. They won't have any issues. I got the signs set up. Anybody walk back here, they're gonna get beat up. Alright, just point blank, period. If they walk here, they'll have to kick my shit. If they kick my shit, they're gonna get beat up. I don't care. Alright, but that's just the way that shit's gonna go today, man. Because it's just me out here, and I'm not finna let people just walk all over me. So, without further ado, let's go take us to our first topic that we'll get into. Because when you stand out here, man, you gotta be courage. You gotta be courageous. You can't be fearful of what these people say or what these people do. So they look, and they make their little jokes and their little shits. But hey, man, I don't give a fuck. I ain't even gonna make it to 30, bro. So I don't give a fuck about that shit. All right, you in this truth, it's a real possibility. You can get executed. So the Lord one, it's not me, but if it is, hey man, I don't care, bro. It's the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. There's no also that in the last days perilous times shall come. Perilous times, dangerous times, bro. Jacob's trouble's on the way. I don't really know how it's going to play out. Scriptures do say to watch and pray, right? But, you got all these gasoline shortages. Well, not shortages. Whoops. Gasoline inflation. Gas is, ridiculously high right now. People are stealing gas. Eventually people are they're gonna get riled up more and more. You're seeing more food shortages, more the price of food going up. You're seeing a lot of these college students, which we don't believe in college, right? College is a waste of time, right? But you got these college students that have been defrauded, by their schools, by their institutions, right? Institutions of learning, colleges are just the best place ever, but then they're getting their fucking shit stolen. Doesn't add up, man. Doesn't add up. But hey, that's why when you look at Revelation, the 20th chapter, it says when it talks about Esau, he should deceive the nations no more. Until the 1,000 years are fulfilled. Let's go ahead and get that real quick, because since I'm here and I'm making the point, but we're gonna get back to what I want to start off with. How when you come out here on the highways and byways, man, you can't be scared, bro. Of course, you move the right way. Like if police come up to me and they say, "Hey, man, we're gonna need you to leave," okay. I got backup spots. I got spots on top of spots that I know I can go to. So I don't care, bro. Lord willing, don't get to that, because I do like it here, man. I've ridden this spot out during the winter, and cold as shit. I got the little covering up here. I don't got to get my equipment jacked up. Revelation chapter 20. Let's start at the top. And I saw angels come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit. The bottomless pit is Europe. And a great chain in his hand. They lay hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bowed him 1,000 years. But it's talking about Esau, man. Esau, that chain represents slavery. Esau was put in slavery under us, under the Israelites, man. The Moors, for example, those are Israelites. They were just following Islam and other, false doctrines. We had no right to do that, but we did. We were going off. That's why that rulership didn't last. But it happened. It happened. Us as the Moors who took over, Spain. We were popping those Edomite women, and that's why, in that region today, Spain, Portugal, all those different regions, you got Israelites there to this day. Because the sea line, beyond that, man, the Holy Roman Empire, and they had a huge empire. They were all across Europe, making dealings and so on and so forth, right? And they had children, and some of those children were a little bit lighter, right? But as we know from Numbers 1 and 18, the sea line goes to the man. So you got Israelites all over the place, man. I'm not gonna talk about myself, but I'm a testament to it. I'm not gonna speak on it, not right now, but but hey, you know how it is. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 20, verse 4. And saw through verse 3. And cast him to the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more till 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed a little season. Alright, so see the nations no more till 1,000 years be fulfilled. Right, and that seal is basically like these Edomites, they couldn't get it together. They were just, and even when you look into those books on like the wild man is Esau, man. You see like different paintings of the Moors fighting this wild man, this fucking Edomite. It's like a picture of an Edomite with hair. He's acting like a dog and shit. That's Esau, man. It talks about the basis of men. Esau is the lowest form of being, man. And this all shows the Lord's power, because this fucking damn devil, which Esau means wasted away at sea, right? At Joshua, right? This damn devil is at the fucking bottom, right? He's been stripped of his melanin, and he has the fucking rulership, man. Of course, through that sword, which is his blessing. Alright? Moving on. So 1,000 years should be fulfilled. Hold on, they should see the nations no more. So, this people, right? Which is the devil and Satan, right? Devil means deceiver, right? A false accuser, which that goes to Revelation, the 12th chapter. This devil falsely accuses us, gets to go off, and then he accuses us before the Heavenly Father, right? Let's get into that too, because you know what? It's turning into that kind of lesson. Lord willing, we'll come back. We'll come back to this in a minute, but we building right now. We gotta build right now, bro. I already got the breakdown set up. So yeah, let's go get it. Alright, so there you go. We'll start at the beginning. We'll start at verse 2 again. They laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, right? Laid hold. It's like put the Edomites in subjection. The dragon is a pagan Roman empire. 1,000 years, the 1,000 year period started around the reign of Constantine the Great, circa 325 AD. During this time, the Edomites were enslaved under Israel. Absolutely. They were popping their woman, and they were impregnating their woman, and they were having our children. That's why a lot of those, a lot of those rulers, man, some of them look a little bit lighter, bro, but they're still Israelites. And that's why you got those people there to this day. Alright? Verse 3, and cast him to the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, and should see the nations no more, till 1,000 years should be fulfilled. Right? So I already explained it already. Right? I didn't really explain it here, but we know the dragon, pagan Roman Empire, the serpent, because Esau is that serpent-like people that you read about in Genesis. So, that too. So yeah, I'll read verse 3 again. I'm jumping all over the place here. I cast to the bottomless pit, which is Europe, and shut him up, set a seal upon him. They should deceive the nations no more, till 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed for the season. So, that these Edomites, they came to power in the time of the Renaissance, circa around 1400s, late 1300s, around there. These Edomites started to get back into power. They started to take Jake out, of his rulerships. And you have the fall of Constantinople, which is key with that rise of Edomite rulership, right? That proves it, because they rose up out of Europe. We started to take things down. The Turks took down Constantinople, as I said, and that began Edomite rulership to grow and grow. With Job 9 and 24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked, all moving up to today. You got these Edomites now in America, right? The colonies and so on and so forth. Christopher Columbus, the Spanish, kicking the ever-loving shit out of the Northern Kingdom tribes in Haiti, of course the Southern Kingdom as well, so on and so forth. But yeah, that was what I wanted to get into. So We know this man is a liar, man. He wants to push out, a new world order. Of course, where he wants to put a poker chip inside of your right hand, on your forehead. But it can be anywhere. Some people, if someone gets it on his right, butt cheek or some shit, it don't matter where that thing is going. You take it, you're gonna get jacked up. So we know the deal, bro. But that all goes all into the perilous times that are coming in, man. And you gotta be ready for it, Let's go in here and let's put in some work. Second Timothy. Okay. I'm not going to over-explain the first verse because I could go into words, but verse 2, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemous, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. Do we not see this today? Men being lovers of their own selves. You got niggas spending 30 minutes, hours in front of the mirror, checking their parents, which is not wrong. Nothing wrong with taking care of your hair, but you should, because if you don't, you'll have very dry hair, and that's no fun, especially as a so-called Negro, where you have very woolly hair, so you gotta make sure it gets enough moisture, and it gets those vitamins and, the nutrients in your hair. That's why you use different shampoos. May not want to use the ones that these Edomites put out, right? These things that have sulfates, burying agents that just fuck up your hair, dry it out. You may want to invest in some conditioners. Invest in leave-in conditioner, things like that. Little spray bottles so you can dampen your hair every morning. Those are just some diesel things you can do to keep your hair right. So lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, right? Aren't these people covetous? They always want what you got. People out here, we got adultery. Adultery is rampant in this society. All right, because this society, Babylon the Great, there's no laws for adultery. Actually, you don't see people getting busted, but there is actually something, Slaki. There is actually something here in the New York Penal Code that is actually for adultery, but I've never heard of it. Never heard it got used. All right, so this is New York Penal Code 255-17. This is casetext.com. All right, so it's a section 225.17 or dash, I don't know what it is, right? Adultery. That person is guilty of adultery when he engages in sexual intercourse with another person at a time when he has a living spouse or the other person has a living spouse. The adultery is a Class B misdemeanor. All right, so it's supposed to be a misdemeanor, but there's so much adultery going around, where, among people sleep with each other's wives, sleep with each other's so-called girlfriend, which your girlfriend is supposed to be your wife, according to scriptures, because sex is marriage, right? Sex consummates the marriage, and I'm not gonna go get it, but what happened with Isaac, right? Okay, there we go. We are gonna get it because I can't do it offhand for the time being. So let's go ahead and put in some work. Once again, that's what we gotta do, man. Put in work for your people. Forgive me if I'm looking around back and forth because people are crazy around here. That's why I said they touch that, it's on. Because I can't let people walk all over me, man. Not that we're looking for that. Let me say that. Not that we're looking for fights, but hey, man, I gotta manage my camp better. There we go. Verse Genesis 24 and verse 66. And the servant told Isaac all things that he had done. And Isaac brought her into his mother's Sarah's tent and took Rebekah. She became his wife, and he loved her. And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. So he took Rebekah and he laid with her. He had sex with her, and she became his wife. So sex is marriage, according to the Holy Bible. Point blank. Period. There's no goddamn ring. All right. Just you run up in there, you put in some work, clap some cheeks, and then that's it, man. You know, you just put in work. So yeah, once again, you got here in the New York Penal Code, Penal Code, right? Adultery. Once again, section 255.17. But you don't see that ever being used, man. At least I haven't heard of it. I haven't heard of anyone ever getting busted for, adultery. And if they were, man, they were. What's a misdemeanor? Let's see. It's a Class B misdemeanor, right? Class B misdemeanor. Alright, so it's less serious than. There we go. Offenders found guilty of Class B. This is omh.newyork.gov. Offenders found guilty of Class B misdemeanors face maximum penalties of up to 3 months imprisonment or 1 year probation. In addition, a fine up to $500 or double the amount of the defendant's gain from the commission of the crime may be imposed. Alright, so adultery, according to the American law system, according to the New York Penal Code, is a Class B misdemeanor. But you never hear about anyone getting busted for adultery. That shows that the society is wicked. Society is ran by wicked individuals, Edomites. Alright? And he has he's deceptive. Right? Like naturally deceptive nature, but he's just a damn devil. He's a deceiver. That's why we read about, in Revelation 20th chapter, which you deceive the nations no more. So that's a chief quality of that people that came out of the bottomless pit, which is Europe. So if you put two and two together, you're able to see, oh yeah, it's talking about these damn devils, man, these damn white people, man. So-called white people, which they're not white, they're not pure. Alright, if anyone's white, we're white. We're the real white people, because we're pure, man. You don't see no damn Edomite coming out here and doing this. No, they're not going to come out here and stand here and talk against adultery. Alright, talk against the New World Order. Talk against the agenda. You got some Edomites that may have certain shows that they run where they may talk against it. But at the end of the day, through their father's line, if they're Edomite, and you got slavery and then death. There's slavery, death, and then eventually total annihilation. According to Obadiah 1 and 18. Alright. Let's go get back into this work again. Let's go put in some work, man. Yeah, so I broke that down already. Covetous, boasters, proud. I'll start again. 2 Timothy 3 verse 2. For men should be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud. Right? People are very proud in this society. They think they're just the best. Think that they say they got all that MMA shit. Hey man, as I always say, man, MMA, all that fighting shit, that shit ain't gonna help you in Jacob's trouble, man. Alright, I'm just gonna put it to you straight. Hey, the Lord will bring 5 dudes on you to kick the ever-loving dog shit out of you. And you won't use any of that MMA shit. Alright? I'm just gonna put it plain like that, man. The Lord can bring a good amount of people to jack it behind up, man, and hey man, that's just gonna be your lot. Because Jacob's trouble is gonna be robberies, people looting, attacking each other. If you're not a servant of the Lord, man, you're done. You're done. Alright? Point blank, period. Alright? Proud, blasphemous, right? If you know what blasphemy is, right? Speaking against the Lord. Let's go look at blasphemers. Blasphemous, speaking evil, slanders, reproachful, railing, scurrilous, railing, right? Evil speaking. Exactly. These people are speaking evil. They're speaking about, oh man, Jacob's trouble ain't gonna happen. They're speaking evil. They make lies. They slander. Right? You see slander here, right? They slander us. They say that we're all, kid diddlers and shit like that. That's some bullshit. Ain't no brother in GMS ever got busted for that kind of behavior. And they never will, because we don't engage in that kind of shit. You know? We just come out here in the highways and byways. You know, bros may have a little woman here and there, but that's not my reality, so I ain't talking on it. The brothers know what I'm talking about. They got that. You know, the brothers talk about, they make their jokes and whatever. Right? But hey, once again, man, this is what we do, man. That's what we focus on. Right? Because we know that everything has to be balanced. But yeah, moving on. Disobedient to parents and thankful and holy. Because people are disobedient to their parents. They go out, smoke drugs, take drugs. You know, they don't listen to their parents and join gangs. Hey, man, that's just the kind of time that these people are. You know, these people are on. You know, unthankful and holy, right? Which means, you know, they get into all this idolatry and all this bullshit, adultery, right? Verse 4, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High. Exactly, they're traitors, man. You know, when you see here, you got here written, they will betray their friends. You know, be reckless, be puffed up with pride. Hold on, right? Traitors, one thing at a time. They'll betray their friends, right? And these people are doing that. You know, you see Jakes, they betray each other, man. Yeah, that's why we don't involve ourselves with these people, man. That's why, you know, we're not unequally yoked with unbelievers, man. We're not out here hanging around with unbelievers and, you know, kicking it with them and all that shit. But of course, we gotta be wise, serpents, harmless, and doves. And if I gotta play stupid, right, and I'm walking around with a well, I don't walk with niggas, but if you have to walk around with an Edomite or a Moabite that you work with, you know, you just say, hey man, you know, so on and so forth. You end the conversation real quick, and you say, oh, I got shit I gotta do. I'll catch you later, man. You know, but we're not going out to get drinks and get foods with damn Edomites. What dealing do we have with it, man? Come on. Or just unbelievers, period. All right, once again, you may have to play stupid with family. You know, say hi, may have a short conversation with family. But that's it. You know, you don't be trying to bring the truth unto them, because, you know, you don't cast your pearl before swine. You can't bring out the truth to just anybody, man. All right? But yeah, treat us heady, high-minded, right? Being puffed up with pride, right? Which heady? Let's look at heady. Let's look at heady. Propetas, fall forward, headlong, sloping, rash, reckless. Exactly. You know, not people reckless, and not they, you know, very, very reckless. You know, just reckless with their mouth, reckless with the words they speak, reckless with their actions. You know, putting hands on the men of the Lord. Hey man, that's a reckless act, and that act is gonna lead to your death, man. Because that's the apple of the Lord's eye. We're the Lord's servants. Don't will him by that number. The elect. You put your hands on us, you're gonna get destroyed for it, man. All right, point blank, period. Did I read verse? Oh no, I'm still at verse 2. Whoops. Right, holy, right? I don't think I read verse 3. We'll read it. Without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, right? Without natural affection, right? They will be unloving. In the NLT version, they will be unloving and unforgiving. They will slander others and have no self-control. They will be cruel and hate what is good. Exactly. And they do hate what is good, man. They hate this truth. They hate the men of the Lord. You know, what I'm doing out here is foolishness to them. You know? Let's go ahead and get that. I'm a little bit all over the place today, but hey man, you're just gonna have to bear with me today. There we go. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 18, for the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us which is saved is the power of the Most High. Exactly. So us coming out here, you know, confessing how we're shy, right? It's foolishness to these people. confessing that Yahweh Shai died for our sins, for us to have a chance to get right. Us coming out here talking, telling the Israelites, those of you that want to listen, you Israelites out here, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and you Israelite foreigners, that hey man, that it's a time to get right, man. So you're not telling me that you're gonna be destroyed because you're breaking the law right now, because you may have an Israelite foreigner that come up, he may have just finished eating a shrimp sandwich, right? You may have finished, just finished eating a shrimp sandwich, or just finished committing adultery about 10 minutes ago, right? And then they may come up, right? I'm not gonna tell them that you're gonna be destroyed for that, but I'm gonna tell them that you need to stop that, man. That you're under grace, that you need to put that shit away from you, man. And then I'm gonna go, Lord willing, if someone's like that, if that, that's a little bit of an extreme example, but someone's like that, and they're humble and sincere, and they really want to stop that shit, and yeah, I let them know. I tell them about the channels, everything through your spirit. I let them know, so they, get right and put that shit behind them. Because we were all like that at one point, man. We were all like that. Let's go ahead and get that. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 2. You know that you were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as you were led. Alright, so we were in that Gentile state of mind. Not that we're literal Gentiles, like literal other nations. How you become a other nation, you turn to another nation. That doesn't make no fucking sense. How you be a fucking Moabite and you turn into an Israelite? That don't make no damn sense. It just means that we were Israelites, but we were just in a Gentile state of mind. We were in a pagan state of mind. We were engaging in that behavior. And we all were. I talk about it. I'm open book with certain things. You grew up into the Christian church, the Baptist church, to all that white superiority bullshit, right? All that nonsense. All right. But the Lord had mercy upon me, and He dragged me out of that. Now I'm out here coming on the highways and byways, putting in some real work for my people. Of course, if they're willing to listen, because the Lord told me to do it. Moving on, because we're commanded to. Moving on, right? It's the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 4. Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of the Most High, having a form of godliness but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. All right, so the act, let's see. Let's look at that word godliness. Eusebia, piety towards the Most High, reverence, respect. All right. So, by having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. So they act like it. They try to act. They play their games and act like that. The Christians, right? They act like they're the ones that are. Oh, we're serving the God. We're serving God. This and that. Oh, we're living a truly godly life. But meanwhile, they're accepting banditos into the fold. Literal banditos. I'm not talking about someone that's like gonna repent or someone that's repenting from that. Even with that, you gotta make sure they repented from that, because that's really bad, right? That shit's fucking not good, right? That's not good at all. So you gotta make sure they repented from that. The scriptures do say, don't lay no hands suddenly on any man. So you gotta really try a dude first before you just bring him into the camp. That's why I said, if anybody come up, I'm gonna point them to the videos. And that's it. I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh yeah, hey brother, come on in," and I set up a spot for him right here. I give him my spare garment. No, I'm not doing that. Fuck that. All right, you gotta really prove to me that you really want it, man. That you really, through the spirit, you gotta really show that you really out here and you want it, man. Come by, take notes week after week, week after week. Through the spirit, eventually I'll know that, hey man, this guy is ready. But if it get to that, it get to that. But if I stand out here by myself, I don't care. You know? Verse 6. For of this sort are they which keep it to houses. All right, hold on. Having a form of God, denying the power thereof, right? But then they reject the power that could make them godly, so reject this truth, right? From such turn away. Let's actually look at that in the Bible Hub. Let's see if we get some more edification. Look at some different translations, because I do like to look at various translations. Sometimes they go off and they royally fuck up, but other times they actually do a decent job. All right, but these guys don't have the spirit, so they don't understand. Right? These Edomites that do these things. Okay, here we go. Amplified Bible, holding to a form of outward godliness that they act like it, although they have denied its power, for their conduct nullifies their claim of faith. Avoid such people and keep far away from them. Right? They deny, the Lord. So they act like it, but then their actions show otherwise. They really deny the Most High. Right? And that's what these Christian churches do. They act all righteous and all this and all that, right? But then, which you already know, they're off the fucking deep end, right? They don't, they may say and they speak with these proud words, this and that they're the ones that are truly living the right way, and that, all of us that we're just evil and this and that, and we can't, call people the F word and the G word and so on and so forth, right? But that action shows that they really deny the Most High. Also, they deny the prophecies. When we come out here and speak prophecies and speak about Jacob's trouble and speak about martial law, they say that, that's crazy, man. That ain't happening, bro. They get like that, man. They say that that ain't gonna happen. Or when we bring out the nuclear missiles, you can't talk about that. You can't say that. You can't. What? That's what these Christian pastors say, man. They don't believe, man. They don't believe. And that's how they act like it, right? But then they don't hold to it. And they don't really, they deny the Most High through their actions, because they're not telling the congregation, these Christian pastors, these, false teachers out here, man. I'm talking about all of them. You Jakes included, man, that are, you may talk about, Israel and say that you go into the tribes and so on and so forth, right? But you still don't go into the mark, or you say that that thing that don't exist, or so on and so forth. You're denying the Most High when you make those kind of actions. I hope I'm explaining it the right way. All right. Here. We move on to the last part, right? From such turn away. Why do you want to turn away from these kind of individuals? Because these kind of individuals are the children of disobedience. Now, last week we went into that. The wrath of the Most High shall come upon the children of disobedience. Obedience is an act of compliance with an order. Okay? Disobedience is an act of non-compliance, or a trait of non-compliance with an order. What is the order? The order is for us to serve and worship the Lord, right? How about Shemi Hawashai, to the best of our ability. To keep the commandments to the best of our ability. And if you have the spirit, come out in the highways and byways and speak against the society. And we're commanded to do that. Set your face against Mount Seir, for example, right? Let's go ahead and get another one. I kind of over-explained that one and I just went into, but whatever, 2 Timothy 3 and 6 or so, I kind of over-explained it, but it happens. Shit happens. So here we go. Book of Isaiah chapter 13 verse 2. Lift the upper banner upon the high mountain. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles. Alright, so the banner is the truth of the scriptures. The high mountain is America. You shake the hand when you rebuke. Alright, that's what you do. Rebuke means to speak against. You rebuke someone to correct them. So let's go into the word rebuke. Because let's see here. Sharp disapproval or criticism, right? Which, it's not really exactly correction. It's more like scolding, admonish, express sharp disapproval, right? Which expressing sharp disapproval for something is a form of correction if the person accepts it, right? But we rebuke and we speak against the society. We say that, hey man, the society is pushing all this confusion that woman can be above a man. And that's why all these people are unhappy, man. They may smile and laugh, but hey, I could actually do research on that. A lot of these relationships, they don't last, man. They don't last because it's built on a fucking corrupt ass foundation, man. And a foundation that they've been taught to perform, all right, by America, by Babylon the Great, by Esau. Let's keep moving, man. Verse 6. For of this sort are they which keep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts. Alright? Exactly, that's what these people do, man. You got these false Israelite camps, these guys, they ain't preaching the right way. They don't got it, man. They'll say that the mark is a bag of chips, that word silly woman is gyna ikarion. Alright, go. I'm not gonna bother. A little woman used contemptuously, foolish woman. Right? These women are foolish. And these people, these false teachers, that's what they do. They have these, funky ass doctrines. They, say, oh, women can teach. And they use that scheme as a tool to get, women into their fold. But still they'll use that, and then they'll use that as a front to be able to lay with them, commit adultery, got all kinds of nasty shit moving on in some of these groups, man. I don't even want to talk about that shit, bro. But some of you dudes out here, man, you ain't moving right. Now, we're going to move back here, right? This is the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 1. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is Yahushua Mashiach. Exactly, you have to be strong in this grace, man. So that's really what we're going to get salvation by. Salvation through faith, and salvation through us having that grace, man. Because we're not perfect, man. We're not gonna be able to keep all the commandments on this side, but we do it to the best of our ability. And certain things we make damn sure that we don't do, like adultery. Some group out here, I don't know who it was. I don't want to say it, and then I say it wrong, and then that group gets offended, right? But you got some groups out here, right? One group saying that adultery is all right. At least that's what it sounded like. I may be misquoting the whole ordeal, but they're trying to say that adultery is okay. And no, it's not okay, man. According to the scriptures, you commit adultery, you're supposed to get put to death. And there's many different laws on it. All right? But yes, right, we all do in some way, because we don't have virgin in society, right? So we all commit adulteries, right? I'm an adulterer. We're all adulterers. If you sleep with a woman that's already slept with someone else, you're an adulterer. Point blank, period. So we're all adulterers, because brothers may have a woman that they deal with, right, a concubine, but that concubine ain't no virgin. She done had, probably about 30, 40 bodies before you, man. And that's just the way it is, right? But, I heard brothers with certain things, you gotta make sure if you are dealing with a woman that she ain't dealing with anyone else. That shit's disgusting, man. That's a no-go, So make sure they're single. But that's why we have grace. We can't keep the laws perfect on this side. We don't have no virgins, man. All right, it's something that's going to come in the kingdom. All right? then we'll be able to keep the law perfectly. Verse 2. And things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also. Right? We look at NLT verse, I heard you teach things that have been confirmed by many reliable witnesses. Now teach these truths to other trustworthy people who will be able to pass them on to others. Exactly. That's what we do in this truth, man. And the elders and apostles, they make videos, and they pass the message on, and then other men, other trustworthy men, they take the message, and then they start up a camp. When I first came in, I was watching all on YouTube. I was hitting GMS homework, and now I found out even more. GMS homework, the Real Hebrew Israelites website, which that one got a subsection how to read the scriptures, and other things, right? Different talking points. I think one of them is Israelite foreigners. And they got photos of brothers up there, and various things like that, man. Move on. Verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach. Alright, so endure hardness, right? So let's look at that word for hardness. Alright, G 2553, Kako Pateo, to suffer, endure evils, hardships, troubles, be afflicted. Alright, so we have to endure these things on this side, man. Let's go ahead and get that, because that one just ties right in. It's a pretty decent precept to it. We're just gonna go into it, man. It's them, man. That's how you put in work. Sirach chapter 2. Verse 1, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. Point blank, period. So we're going to get temptation. We're going to be tempted on this side. We're going to have hardships come up on this side. Temptations to fall back to the world. If you come to serve the Lord, you have to prepare for that, and you cannot give into that. The Lord chose you, and He gives you that spirit. You're going to stand against it. Whatever temptations, whatever demonic attacks that we get into, right, what brothers deal with, at night, when they wake up, so on and so forth, right? We all know what that is, right? Those are tests, man. You can't falter to those wicked thoughts, man. You gotta just, put that shit to the side and keep moving, man. Keep pushing, all right? Point blank, period. Moving on. Verse 4. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. Exactly. Let's look at the LT version. Soldiers don't get tied up in the affairs of civilian lives, for when they cannot please the officer, for then they cannot please the officer or listener. Exactly. So, what Apostle Paul is doing is making a similitude, man. Like a soldier, right? A soldier that goes to war, he doesn't entangle himself with the affairs of his life so he can please his officers, so he can please his commanders. Alright? And we're the same way. Who's our commander, man? Yahweh. Alright, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. So we do this, alright, so that we can, please the Lord. Please Yahweh Yahweh Shai. So we don't be, get jacked up and be taken out. The Lord, pull the spirit away from us, which I don't wish that, I wish that on 2/3, but I don't wish that on 2/3 and those that are just out of their mind, right? Because we know that there's some that creep in unawares, right? But I don't wish that on any real brothers, brothers that are really sincere brothers. I don't wish that on my fellow laborers, man. Because we're supposed to have brotherly love. I don't wish no evil on my fellow laborers. It's not even in my spirit. It's so wicked that even speaking about it, it just doesn't register, man. I can't even speak on it, bro, because that's a given, all right? But that's why we all pray, man. We pray for brothers. Take not the Holy Spirit away from us, man, so that we can keep on coming out here, so that we can be children of the light, all right? Children of the day. Why children of the light? Children of the day, all right? Day represents light. right? And when you have the light, you're able to see things. You're able to see things clearly. And that's what we have in this truth. We're able to see the destruction. We're able to understand that get into these ways, man, or do nothing but lead to your destruction. Get to false doctrines, false philosophies, or just lead to your destruction. Point blank, period. All right? Moving on. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5. And if any man also strive for masteries, yet he is not crowned, except he strive lawfully. Alright? So, when you go here, right? Athletes cannot win the prize, in LT verse, athletes cannot win the prize unless they follow the rules. Right? You go to that word strive, it's athleo. We get athletes to engage in the contest, contending public games, contending for a prize. What's that ultimate prize that we want to get, man? Entrance to the kingdom, man. That white stone. Alright? And that white stone represents what? The white stone represents exemption from judgment, which is what we want. Because we all committed sin on this side. Alright? We just we're under grace and we're under mercy right now. When we pray that Lord willing we enter into the kingdom and that our sins are forgiven. They're truly forgiven and we won't have to be chastened anymore. And then we can have the laws in our inward parts and we will never see death anymore. It's a wonderful thing. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. This is the book of Revelation 2, verse 7. He that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. To him that overcometh will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knoweth, save he that receiveth. Alright, so the hidden manna is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Lord. The white stone is exemption from judgment. Right? In the ancient Roman Empire, you would get a white stone if you were acquitted, or a black stone if you weren't. Alright, so we don't want the black stone, because the black stone represents judgment. We want that white stone, because the white stone is going to represent acquittal from judgment. Alright, and we all deserve judgment on this side. We're all sinners. We all engage in all kinds of horrid acts when we're in the world, right? But the Lord had mercy upon us and He gave us the Holy Spirit the ability to understand, and to see this light, and to engage and be a part of this light, to have it, and to be able to understand these scriptures, So that's why, brothers, we're serious about this, because we don't want to go back, man, into those ways, man, the abominations. Moving on. A new name, refreshed, which means brought back to remembrance. So that goes to Yahushua's name. It's going to be refreshed. It's going to come back. The name ain't going to go nowhere, man. It's not like a literal new name, like another name. Someone fucking recognized me. Fuck. I'm so fucked. But whatever. I don't give a fuck. Hey man, as I said, I'm not gonna make it to age 30, so I don't care. It don't matter to me, man. I'm talking about on this side, man. That's just the mindset I have. I don't care, man. Yeah, faith and works. So moving on. So that's pretty much the point, right? And then I may go into one more precept, maybe a few. It's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 1, and we'll start at verse 10. With salvation the prophets have inquired and searched diligently, will prophesy of the grace that should come unto you. Right? So it speaks for itself. And the prophets have inquired so diligently, in NLT version, the salvation was something even the prophets want to know more about when they prophesied about this gracious salvation prepared for you. You got it in many different places too. You could read about us being saved. It's all over the Old Testament. Let's see if I can think of one off the top of my head. You can use the one. Let me see here. When was this written? Let's see here. Let's see if I could. I'm thinking of one. Like the gates, entrance to the gates, something like that. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, I know what to do. I know exactly what to do. Whoops. You know, it happens. You try to think of it. Let's see here. Let's go into Egyptian against Egyptian. 'Cause that's a good one. I just want one that can prove it real quick. You know, that's just easy to understand, and you know, we don't gotta go all over the place here. This book of Isaiah, chapter 19, verse 1. The bird of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud. He shall come into Egypt, and the isles of Egypt shall be moved in his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall not be missed up. Alright, so this is synonymous with a deliverance. You know, the Lord's going to return, you know, upon a chariot, and shall come into Egypt, referring to America. And the isles of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. Alright, so the Lord's going to come and bring that destruction. And people are going to be, you know, losing it. They're going to be sad. You know, that's what it means when it says their heart shall melt. You can look at a different translation. You know, just so we get a different viewpoint. You know, you did. All right, so. This is the NLT version. This message came to me concerning Egypt. Look, the Lord is advancing against Egypt, riding a swift cloud. The idols of Egypt tremble. The hearts of the Egyptians melt with fear. Exactly. These Edomites are going to melt with fear. And when we see those chariots, they're going to be shitting themselves, man. You know? Let's go ahead into Revelation, the first chapter. But this is synonymous with deliverance. You know? I can't remember the one that says, come into the chambers. I'm not going to try to look for that one right now, but there's a scripture that goes like that. What was I going to look for? Oh, yeah. Here you go. Revelations chapter 18. Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. And I'll just start. When I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, receive not of her plagues. You know, so that you don't receive any of that destruction that's going into the angels. And they're coming, you know, with those chariots to save the men of the Lord, you know, to bring in the elect, you know, and save them so they don't have to die in that destruction. Alright? Let's see here. Well, yeah, that's pretty much the point. You know, that's pretty much the point. That's what it means to come out of it. It's deliverance. Moving on. Internet is fucking bugging out today, man. I might have to actually move this camp spot. I'm not gonna lie, it's too many. Now it's starting to warm up. Now these, you know, dusty ass, funky ass, stinking ass, fucking Edomites, these white apes, gotta come out here, man. So I'm gonna have to move my spot. I may move further down there, or maybe move down here, but I'll figure it out. I just don't want to be running into people like that. Hey man, what are you doing out here, man? What's that you're wearing, man? Hey man. Like, leave me the fuck alone, man. Like, shit. You know how people are. Like, leave me alone. Alright, like, I don't want to talk to you fucking people. I'm cool. Like, nigga, I'm chilling. Alright. Verse 10, of which salvation the prophets have inquired so diligently to prophesy of the grace that should come unto you, searching what or what manner the time and spirit of Yahushua Mashiach which is in them was signified and was testified beforehand the sufferings of Yahushua Mashiach and the glory that should follow, right? They wonder what time the situation, spirit of Yahushua within them was talking about when he told them about Yahushua Mashiach's suffering his great glory afterwards. Now that's going into his great glory. You know, one, he sits at the right hand, right? He's going to have that glory, you know, when he comes back with those chariots. And brings out destruction. You can read about that also, Isaiah 66. That's just another one. Let's talk about Yahushua.
Ready?
Let's go do this, man. There we go. Matthew chapter 5, verse. That's not what it is. Oh, I know what it is. Blessed are your eyes. Your eyes. So let's look up eyes. This will take a little bit of time. I know there's a lot of things with eyes. Eyes. Okay. Here we go. This is the book of Matthew 13, verse 16. But blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. All right, this is in the red letters. This is who the word ignorantly calls Christ speaking. Right? For they hear. For verily, truly, I say unto you, right? And blessed are our eyes, right? On a spiritual level, right? Because, you know, it's really going into your mind. Because think about it, right? I can look at that tree and say if that tree is brown. Now that starts with a thought, right? It's really going into your mind's eye, right? Because you really think about it, you really see and process information with your mind, not really with your eyes. You see the thing with your eyes, but then your mind is able to feed back the information. You say, oh, that's that. Basically, what this is going into is blessed or really your mind for you to understand. Because we understand these things. We fucking hate it out here, man. I'm gonna fucking move soon, man. One of these, I'm gonna move. I gotta get the fuck out of here, man. This spot is too vexing. I'm just gonna have to go to fucking South Meadow. You know, I'm gonna have to move down to South Meadow or someplace like on the other side of town, man. Because this is fucking whack. You know, this is whack. I'm about to. Well, I'm gonna finish the camp first, then I'm gonna go plan it out. I'll probably look at Google Maps. I'll ask the brother probably on to help me out. I might actually dip from this spot because this is dog shit. You know, dealing with this shit. You know, I'll figure it out. But it's dog shit. It's dog shit. I'm getting tired of it. Matthew 13, verse 16, right? Blessed are your ears, for they see, and your ears, so they hear, right? Now your ears hear things, but it's our mind, it's our spirit that's able to resonate with it. So basically, we're blessed because of that, because we have the mind and the ability to understand these precepts. We're able to understand what Yahushua was talking about, right? Verse 18. What was that? Verse 17. For verily, truly, I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear, and have not heard them. So exactly, the prophets that were before us, you know, they wanted to know, you know, what exactly it all meant, but they couldn't. You know, if you're the prophets coming back, you know, so it wasn't meant for them back then. What's meant for us now. Now we're able to understand that, yeah, Jacob's trouble. Yeah, Yahushua is going to come back with those chariots. He's going to come back. He's going to destroy these Edomites and take down their rulership. So then there could be a new heaven, you know, and a new earth. So there could be Israelite rulership can flourish upon this earth, where there could be righteousness. You know, instead of this world that's ran by Edomites, where there's nothing but wickedness. You know, and fucking weird ass Edomites looking at you and shit. Fucking nasty ass fucking people, man. I don't understand you niggas, how you niggas love him, man. But I do understand it. I understand why you niggas love him, because you don't have the spirit. The Lord put you, he made you like that, man. Let's go ahead and get that, man. Let's go ahead and get that. Of course, Romans 1 goes into it, right? The Lord gave them up to their vile affections, and made our people like the banditos, right? Our people are like that because the Lord made them like that. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verse 4, just to get to the point. I also will choose the delusions, it will bring fears upon them, because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, did not hear. But they did evil before my eyes, and so is that in which I delighted not. As the Lord is saying, the point is, right? I also choose the delusions. So the Lord picks the delusions of our people. Where they're just love Edomites, man. They just want to, be Edomites. They want to serve your slave master. They want to just, I don't even want to speak about the rest, man. All kinds of abominations, all their bullshits. They think that they're the ones that are right. They say that, oh, you guys are mean. You guys are hateful. Where the scriptures talk about hate, but you know what? They think that they're the ones in the right. They say all love and peace and love, right? And then they say that we're hateful. Well, hey, man, let's look up the word hate. You look up the word hate in the King James, it's 223 results. So that's 223 times the word hate appears in the scriptures. So I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that shit at all, homie. That shit don't count, man. You can't pull that shit, man. That's some bullshit. This is the book of, you guys already know what I'm about to say. Psalm 119 and 104. Do that precepts I get understand before I eat every false way. Precepts, sign this commandment, because you're commanded to apply these scriptures to your life, man. If you're in the spirit and you read something like Proverbs, the first chapter, right? In this law, doth we meditate day and night. Right, through the spirit, you're actually going to try to do that. Think more upon the scriptures than upon, your other, bullshit. Because that's really what it is. You may have a little fun, but at the end of the day, it really ain't nothing, man. It's just something that we do to pass the time. Whether it's listen to music or you watch your favorite show, it's just pastimes, man. And that fun, the Elder Apostle Kabar broke it down, having too much fun is bad, Of course, we know that's the purpose of the Sabbath. You're supposed to use that time to get right, you're supposed to be right. You know what I mean? You can use it to, if you know what I mean. Use that time to reflect and get. I guess it is time to get right. Day of Atonement, that too, right? Times to meditate and really focus, right? Same thing with the Passover. Time to meditate, to get right, to focus. Right? The Sabbaths, right? No sex, right? When you have no sex, you use more time to think, engage more in thinking. You stay in the spirit. That's what you're supposed to do on the Sabbath days. Not having fun or doing your own shit. It's really, for a Sabbath, you should just read, watch videos. Just do that. Sleep. Keep it simple. I like to watch news too, like different alternative news sites, because you have to. Because if you don't, then you won't understand things such as you go on the website, right? And I always bring this one out. I think it's fda.gov. You go into the Comirnaty section. You look at the prescribed information, and it shows you right there the adverse reactions to the, right, to the Windows 19 shot, right? So you're not supposed to take that shit. You're not supposed to. There's also scriptures, make no cuttings in your flesh, right? But let's talk about healing customs and shit, but that also applies to needles. You're not gonna get no fucking funky ass needle that'll fuck you up and ruin you, man. Alright? Point blank, period. So I think I pretty much proved my point. I think you brothers got the point. I actually kind of diverted a little bit, and that's the spirit too. I was supposed to read 2 Timothy chapter 2, and that was what I was going to start off with, but I actually pulled up the 3rd chapter by accident. So I pretty much went exactly off from the topic that I wanted to talk about, but that's the spirit. You know, there'll be second chances and other times where I will get the chance to talk about, you know, what I want to talk about. You know what I mean? Talk about, you know, meaning courageous. So I didn't even bring up scriptures like gird up the loins of your mind and topics like that. I didn't even get into those. So we're gonna get into the news, and we're gonna go touch on these things, and then after that, I'm gonna go run my little ass back home. You know, I'm gonna go scary back to my fucking hiding hole, to my swamp. Alright. And then I'll probably go into Proverbs 17. I'll probably read Proverbs 17, Proverbs 18, and maybe see if I can get into Esdras. You know? So, first Esdras. So yeah, this is the first article that I'm gonna get for you brothers. Here it is, Newsweek.com. Gas theft rings have now stolen more than 140,000 worth of fuel across U.S. United States. In recent weeks, thieves have stolen more than $140,000 worth of fuel from gas stations around the U.S. as gas prices continue to soar to record numbers. And as we know, gas is like a world price. You know, like it's basically something like a world commodity. You know, it's not like basically that's what it's going into. You know, oh shit, it's actually raining hard out here. So here we go. I don't want to be caught up in this rain because then it'll fuck up my equipment. And I don't want to fuck up my equipment. I like my equipment. So we can step it back a little bit. So go on now, make some of these dickheads go home. We'll be back. We don't care, man. We don't care. Yeah, gas prices continue to soar to record numbers. That's according to analysis by Newsweek of recent reports of gasoline thefts throughout the country. Right, so this thing, Ukraine is basically raising prices in other areas. You know, and there's other things at play that go into. I explained it last week. I can't really explain it now entirely because I don't really remember exactly, but it was something along those lines. You know, and that's why the gas is soaring and going up. Right. In North Carolina on Friday, the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department announced that it had made arrests in connection with the theft of 300 gallons of gas for more than $1,000 on March 16. In a video posted online by the department, police said that these have big gas pumps distribute free gas, and they had arrested the ringleader of the group who faces several charges. All right, so once again, nothing happy, nothing peaceful is coming to this country, man. All right, let's go ahead and get it, man. Let's go ahead and get it. Fuck, I'm cold, man. Shit. But as I said, man, you know, you gotta just suck it up and keep standing out here. Proverbs 15, verse 29. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayer of the righteous. Exactly. The Lord is far from the wicked. Who's the wicked? The so-called white man, Esau Edom. He is the wicked according to the Holy Scriptures. And how is he wicked, man? Well, he's an adverse. Once again, going back to how he's a devil and Satan, he's a false accuser. And he's a devil, which means adversary. He's adverse to all things that are righteous. How is he adverse to all things that are righteous? Right? We look at Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, in the 1st verse. It says how the devils made no account of our labor. Also, they afflicted the Lord's people. That shows us that he's not righteous, man. And he attacked every person for slavery. Of course, all that the Lord set up. He was going off the person that would come upon it. right? But you still attack the Lord's people. You attack the children of Israel. You know, Christopher Columbus, he used Esdras, used the scriptures to find the northern kingdom, and came down there and jacked up the northern kingdom. You know, jacked them up bad. There was they said there was like millions of them. You know, and they took them down to a small number. You know, through murder. You know, and of course the northern kingdom, they started to kill themselves because they were getting jacked up so damn bad. All the rape, mutilations, burnings, all that fucking shit. You know, they started killing themselves too. Actually, there's a plant that they use, cassava, which it's actually poisonous apparently. Like I looked at it online because a brother I had done, he brought it up in one of his videos from like a month ago, and I saw it. He mentioned this plant. He said, "Oh yeah, that plant will put muscles on you." And I was like, "All right, cool. I may have to check that shit out." You know, because you know how we are, man. Jake on their free time, they be buffing a little bit. You know, nothing wrong with a little bit of buffing, right? That's not what we focus on, right? Because the scriptures do say physical something, physical something profited little. Doesn't mean that you can't engage in lifting or buffing or whatever you want to call it, right? It just means you shouldn't focus on it. Here we go. Physical exercise profited little. Here we go. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 8. For bodily exercise profited little, but God is profitable unto all things, having a promise of the life that now is, and of that which is to come. Exactly. So the point is, for bodily exercise profited little. You know, doesn't mean that you can't. We can go, get your buffing in whenever, in your free time. But we don't trust in that more than we trust in the Lord. We just, we engage in a little bit of, time, little time. We go for like, some time, however brothers do it, right? Not to be over righteous, whatever brothers do, right? And then when you finish up, you go home, you wash up, and then you go back to doing what you got to do. There's other responsibilities, and you get into the scriptures, And of course, on the Sabbath day, there ain't none of that shit. I don't do any of that. Brothers already know we don't do any of that shit. Not just me. We don't do any of that shit during the Sabbath. You put that shit down, man. Right, the Sabbath, you just keep your mind on the Lord and fucking relax. I don't really understand, well, I understand, right? Because we don't have the spirit once again. But you niggas out here, right? You 2/3 here in America, as we know what the scripture's talking about, right? You guys don't get it, man. You guys don't have the spirit. You don't understand it. You'll look at me and say, "Oh, that nigga crazy, man. Oh, that's that nigga. Look at that nigga right here. He wearing a bed sheet. Nigga, fuck you." Alright, that's like I said, nigga, fuck you, man. You don't know what this is. It's not a fucking bed sheet, alright? So fuck off. Get out of here, man. Of course, we won't say it like that. I'll say, hey, just get down the street, man. Alright, because you want to be wise and set the psalmist and dogs, right? You don't want to, go with people into altercation. Once again, that's why I have things set up the way I do. Someone walk into here and kick my shit, they better start apologizing real quick, because I put that shit up like this for a reason. So if people come down and they try to walk into my shit, they really got to go out their way to go do that, It's not it was an accident. No, you fucking piece of shit. You did that shit on purpose. Alright, but of course, if all possible, I would just tell them, keep it moving and get the fuck out. Leave me alone so I can go teach. Alright, because that's all we come out here to do. Let's go back to these scriptures. I'll finish with my rant, but brothers know what I mean. Brothers are much more experienced than me, so you know what I'm trying to say. Alright, so moving on, right? In a separate incident in Colorado last month, thieves allegedly stole roughly 5,000 gallons of gas volume at about $50,000 from the gas station. According to news station pt1, a video showed the suspects arriving at the station who pumped thousands of gallons of gas into the back of the vehicle without paying. The manager of the business said he believed the remote control was used to co-opt the theft. So people are getting desperate. People out here, they're stealing gas. They're, you know, they can't afford to pay for all this fucking gas. And now they decided, you know, to take it, you know, into their own hands and steal. Right? So let's go ahead and get one of my favorites. Let's go here, sign up to my accounts. You know, my King James account. This is an amazing job for the business. GMX FAQ. You know, even has the Hebrew on here. It looks like you did some sort of algorithm, but you know, sometimes the algorithm it gets it wrong. So you gotta, you know, put two and two together. So you gotta study for yourself so you know what you're looking at. Book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse. I'll just go to the point. There we go. This is the book of Matthew 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Alright, so wax means to become like, right? Become like unto. Okay? So when you're a very kind person, right? You know, they'll say you're a very warm-hearted individual. You're a very warm-hearted individual. Alright? But then when you're not acting like that, which warm-hearted, you know, kind, friendly, so on and so forth, right? Now when they say, oh, you're a cold-ass dude, you're a cold-hearted dude, that's the exact opposite. That means you're mean, you're not nice, you know, so on and so forth. Which that's the kind of things they stigmatize us with. They see that we're cold-hearted because we don't want to let heathens join our thing. Well, hey, man, Matthew 21 and 21 says we gotta try to save his people. All right, so we're out here only on this sign right here, man. All right, regardless of their looks, because we know the Spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. So through the Spirit, you know, if the Spirit is resonating with them, it don't matter how you look like, as long as you're an Israelite, man. You know, it don't matter how they look like, because they resonating with these scriptures, they're an Israelite. Point blank period. It don't matter if they look like a Moabite, an Ammonite, you know, or whatever. I mean, they're Israelite because it resonates with them, you know. And certain things, even without the scriptures, without, you know, people that's in the world, you can kind of tell that someone's a Jake. You know, if you see, you know, like I see this one Moabite man. Well, he look like a Moabite. I think he's a Jake. The dude, this guy, he sings while he bench presses. I ain't never seen anything like that. He dances, you know, dances like a Jake. He sings, you know, while he's lifting weights like a Jake. I personally think that he might be wrong, you know, but hey, it don't matter. He could be a Jake. That don't mean he don't be saved, you know, because you don't know shit. You don't know shit. You don't cast his pearls before swine. So I'm not gonna say, hey man, come over here and let's go into. No, man, we're not going into shit. All right, what I'm gonna go into is these scriptures, and then I'm gonna go home, and I'm gonna go open my door and go into my house. I ain't going into anything with you. Alright? But yeah, so because iniquity shall abound, right? The love of many shall wax cold. Right? So when you watch the news, right, you see public violence, you know, you see all kinds of like you see here the gas theft, people stealing. And it's happening all over the country, man. People stealing, you know, stealing gas. They hacking into this shit. They find out ways to pump free gas. That's prophecy, man. You know, you see people killing each other, murdering each other on the news. I think that was that one thing where some guy shoveled snow on someone's lawn, and he pulled out a gun and he blew their heads off, man. You know, he killed them. All right, or murdered them. All right, things like that. That's the scriptures come to pass, man. That's the prophecies coming to pass. All right. And this is the start. Right? This is just stealing. Stealing really think about it, right? Stealing is really an act of rebellion. So people are starting to rise up against the government. Which we're gonna get into those precepts in a minute, because I want to see if there's a little bit more in this article. Right. Moving on. Right. On Thursday, law enforcement in Florida announced that few devices had allegedly used a homemade device to steal $60,000 worth of gasoline from two gas stations. They saw the arrest of six people. Another case in Florida, 4 men were arrested and accused of stealing more than 2,800 gallons worth of gas. Officials didn't say how much the value of the gas totaled, but it could have been worth $10,000 given other police officers, police departments' estimates. So the people are rising up, man. It's only gonna get worse. As I said, with all this shit you seeing with Moab, and they saying the Windows cases are rising up, right? I gotta look into. So since we're here, we might as well. I want to see if it's rising, if the windows are rising. Okay, so yeah, you look here, you see in cases rise in LA. That was a day ago. Several states see increases in Windows cases, right? So, I'm not gonna look into all these things, man. But hey, man, it's increasing. So you gotta watch and pray, see how this shit goes down, man. Cause you know that that ain't, man. You know what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to collect my thoughts here. But basically, we gotta see how this shit goes down, man. If they have another shutdown, it don't really matter to us, because we already know the deal, right? Brothers, we have the spirit where we don't care, man. Let it come, because it's just gonna hasten the further destruction of this place. But it's gonna have to come. It could be this time, could be the one where they want to bring out the martial law, because now people are going to steal. People are going to be mad. There's another shutdown, especially do it during the summertime. People are going to be pissed. All right, so we just got to see how these things play and come to pass. All right, that's why I'm not making anything official until we see how it goes. I'll see how it goes. Our law enforcement investigators, officers, and partners are working hard every day to protect Florida consumers and businesses from theft and other Florida gas stations across our state. Florida Commissioner Admin Coaster Nikki Fry said in a statement last month, whether individuals are trying to steal fuel like these in these situations or steal credit card data with skimmers, like I said was going to happen, right? They're going to increase. Visa said, I remember I went to it last week, Visa said they were going to increase the payment cap for people when they're out here, paying for gas, so they can make larger purchases. Because that's how expensive this shit is out here. That's how expensive this shit is out here. So that's just all bringing the further collapse of American society. All right. As we're seeing more and more now, people are gonna get pissed. People are, they're gonna get their shit stolen. And so on and so forth. It's just gonna make people get more and more angry, more and more upset, Moving on. Whether individuals trying to steal gas, know that our department will continue to crack down on crimes at our gas pumps. According to CBS, Dallas-Fort Worth, the owner of a Valero gas station in Duncanville, Texas, said last month that thieves had stolen 6,000 gallons worth of diesel, 6,000 gallons of diesel fuel worth over $23,000 from his business. Meanwhile, another gas station manager in Texas said that 1,000 gallons of fuel was stolen from underground tanks of his business last month. Jerry Fowler, the manager of the Houston business, Fuel Express, told ABC 13 that Houston that the fuel was worth roughly $5,000. So people are getting their shit stolen, they're breaking into their homes, and they're stealing their shit. Alright? So hey man, it's just gonna get worse, man. That love of many waxing cold. And they're starting to kill each other in the society. Let's go ahead and get princes. This is second Esdras, and we'll go into Jeremiah. It'll be here for sure. Okay, Esther, Maccabees first, Esdras, second Esdras. Okay, this is the book of second Esdras, chapter 15. Outside verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, with swords in their hand. That goes into Isaiah 19. You know, the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and American against American. And the Lord is going to rise up with these, Edomites. They're going to kill each other, man, in the cities. They're going to gun each other down, That's why it says woe to them, destruction to them. They're going to fight and they're going to kill each other. They're going to drag away women, drag women away captive out their homes, Like you heard that one account on the news, right? And you had this one woman, I think it was a Jake. I wish this is going to come to you, Jakes, right? This Jake woman, she was talking about how her plumber, was trying to break into her house. More cases like that are gonna pop up here in the United States. It's just gonna get worse. That's why we tell you, Jake woman, to repent. But if it's not in your spirit, don't worry about it, man. You just gonna get jacked up. And don't come running to me, because I ain't even gonna be around. Hell, even if I'm alive enough to even be, I may not even be breathing to even talk to. So, hey, you just gonna be left out there. You're gonna get jacked the fuck up. And nobody gonna save you. Which, however it goes and turns out for me, I don't know. I might die, I might not. Of course, Lord willing, I don't, because I don't want to get executed. But if it gets down like that, it gets down like that. Because we already know that the U.S. government already has those guillotines, already has the parts for the guillotines, already has the concentration camps, and is only waiting for the martial law, so he can use that as an excuse, right? And say that, oh, you guys are domestic terrorists. Which they already have documents where they say that we are domestic terrorists. So all they gotta do is just roll it out and then say, oh, well, we need to go put these guys and lock them up in the concentration camp. And the United States already got them. It's called the FEMA camps. All right, which I think it's, what is it? Something Emergency Management Administration, I think. But that's what they got. That's what the United States got, those FEMA camps, man. So Lord willing, I don't gotta go there. And if I do, Lord willing, I have the spirit to endure whatever horrors are in there, and I'd be all right. Moving on. Verse 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard the kings nor princes, and the course of action shall stand in their power. For there shall be sedition among men, and that ties back to what we already read. All right, that love of many waxing cold. All right, so once again, right, warm-heartedness is something like tender and warm, right? Like when people say you're a warm-hearted person, that means you're very friendly, you're very kind. That's why when you read here, the love of many shall wax cold, that means people are going to become cold-hearted. What does cold-hearted mean? Cold means to be evil, mean, to be going against one another, to have animosity. All right, and that's what's going to turn out here in America. More people are going to get cold-hearted. More people are going to want to steal. More people are going to want to shoot. More people are going to want to kill. And they're going to kill each other, man. All right? That's why we tell you guys, get right. Because if you don't, you're going to be caught up in there. You're going to get killed. And you're fucked up. You're going to get robbed and jumped. You're going to take your Jordans. They might kill you too. Or they might take you captive with it. Take you in your Jordans. And they might just cut off your feet and rip the Jordans right off. However these guys get down during that martial law, man. But either way, you guys gonna get fucked up. You don't give a fuck. Because Hey man, the scripture do say, man, blesses man, he's conscious or not, is not condemning. I think that's Sirach 14. And my conscience ain't condemning me at all, man. Alright? I ain't worried about shit. Alright, I gotta keep that spirit on me, because I do tend to worry. I do tend to overthink shit. But hey man, I'm gonna be alright, man. You know, at the end of the day, I came out here and I put in work, man. Alright, I put in work. I didn't come out here with love and this and all that bullshit. Because you say open rebuke is better than secret love. So I came out here showing open disapproval against the society. So whatever happened, man, I know my conscience ain't gonna condemn me, man. And I'm blessed because of that. So, Lord willing, I'll be alright and I become the hopeful elect. So I don't have to, go through something really bad, during Jacob's trouble, or get killed by a chariot, or get killed by a missile. Alright, so Lord willing, that don't happen, And I just able to pull up and stick in the truth, man. But that's pretty much it, right? I think I wanted the other one. You already know what Biden said, right? Saying that your food shortages are real and food shortages are coming. We don't really gotta talk too much about that. I'm gonna talk about a different article that's a bit more recent. Because you already know that shit is coming, man. The supply chains have been disrupted. And they did that on purpose. That's why I said in one of my videos recently, I think it was called Let's Just Wait and See. I like to do videos like that. Let's wait and see, what we just kind of extrapolate, kind of see how these things go. Take a look, because it's what we do, we watch. It's just a measure the time diligently, right? So on and so forth. Let's go here, CNBC.com. The fertilizer shortage worsened by war in Ukraine. And Ukraine's construction crane will say is driving up global food prices and scarcity. So not only is it driving up the gas prices, it's also driving up the food too. The war